Touch.
People always talk about my come up, cause I've been going all every summer. Pussy wanna talk about numbers, but your manager buy him swipe show, so by me ain't nobody out now that can touch us.
Hello, my name is Dominic, and today we'll talk about high school. I still remember the first day of high school. I believe everybody remembers this, but for some people this doesn't mean that much. For me, I can tell that it was funny and interesting. I remember that my father brought me with a car and told me that was the first and last day he brings me to school. Lucky me for getting there by car, cause there was this guy who was chasing the bus for making it to his first high school day. I was lucky to meet 3 friends from my neighborhood who entered the same school as I did, and now we're hoping to get assigned to the same class. Because everybody else was afraid to go and look at the assignments because of the big crowd, I did this step as a true alpha leader I am. Here I was, looking, searching my name and my friends' names. I found them and returned at my friends with 2 news, a good one and a bad one. The good one was that I was assigned with 2 of them in the same class, and the bad one was that the other friend was left alone. He almost cried. We finally entered the high school, but because I have a small bladder, I had to go to the bathroom. I entered the first one I saw. I took a big piss, but when I got out of the cabin, I saw only girls. This could mean 2 things. 1, this is the best high school with shared bathrooms. Or 2, I fucked up in the first day of high school and entered girls' bathroom. If you think about it, it's not that bad. But man, in the first day, of course it was girls' bathroom. So I just pretend I was okay with it. And I got out of there with all the girls around me giggling and watching me. In the end, I got in my new class, along with colleagues and with the head teacher. The class was like any study class, until I entered and spread a good vibe. All the girls stopped and they were staring at me with looks like some lioness ready to attack. Dominic! Dominic! And then I woke up. I fell asleep in my first high school class. But that's not all. Remember this guy? Yep, he's Darius. Well, his first high school day was a little different. Because he doesn't live in the neighborhood where the high school was, he obviously didn't have any idea on how to get to high school. He didn't have the internet on his phone. So he asked the elders about this high school, but neither of them had heard about it. In that moment, he knew he was fucked up, and he's gonna miss his first day of high school. Hurried to arrive, he got the first bus he could catch. But he did a mistake to get off 1 station forward. He ran 1 station, following other kids. Finally, he arrived, nervous and sweaty. When he entered high school, the world seemed strange to him, and honestly, he's not the most attractive guy, but most of the children looks like they were born after the Chernobyl failure, man. He got in a new class along with his new colleagues. After entering the class and seeing his new colleagues, he had one thought. I have to move. Don't judge him for that, but when he saw 2 of his colleagues, he thought he will not leave without getting his ass beat and with his money taken. I would tell the names of those 2 colleagues, Bob and Big Ass. Bob looked like he was 20 years old and he was in prison, and Big Ass, well, he had a bigger arm than my leg, man. Don't get him wrong, he has nothing with fat people, but he was really scared. Oh, and the coolest thing was to learn French, because he never learned French in school. Hate, another reason he wanted to take his bags and get the hell out of the high school. Looking at the class, after people with whom he could still be friends, he noticed me, Dominic. I was standing next to my best friend, or at least that's what I thought. We were constantly talking and making jokes. Before we left the class, we spoke to each other to get to know each other better. We even started to make fun of some teachers. Alright, it's not a bad at high school, he thought. Or at least that's how it turns out until you get out of the class. On leaving the high school, as he walked home, he noticed the seniors making fun of some freshmen, and his surviving instincts from Bear Grylls' show turned on. So he just walked away from the high school gate, and guess who he met? Bob. Exactly, Bob. It was fitter than some of the seniors, so he thought if he went home with him, he will not get his ass kicked. They started talking about football, colleagues, and when they got out of high school, the seniors greeted them. Victory! He survived the first day of high school, thanks to Bob. And after speaking with him, it seems like he was not such a bad guy after all. But he didn't get along with him as good as with me. Dude, with Darius I went through a bunch of stupid things, which we will tell you in the next following episodes. Guys, this was about the first day of high school for us. Write in comments, how was your first day of high school? What have you learned from this first episode? Well, be friends with seniors, or at least somebody that looked like one, if you don't like getting your ass kicked.
Get down.